Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. Today I'd like to talk to you about the Huffington Post and ask the question, can it get even more racist? The Huffington Post is an online news and opinion page that was started in 2015. It's lining towards the liberal left side of politics. I've captured a screenshot here of it, and you can see this was today. They're obviously not big fans of Trump, I hazard a guess. They're celebrating Women's History Month. Now, in 2016, Liz Heron tweeted this picture. Notice anything about this HuffPost editors meeting? So it's full of women. There's no men in it. They're obviously making decisions based on gender to load their opinion page or newspaper with particular types of editors. Now, I actually don't have an issue with that. I'm leaning towards more free market where employers should be allowed to discriminate and the state should not intervene with quotas or any of those things. So long as they're advertising the fact that they're doing it, more power to them. But the problem is they're doing it because they believe they have a moral high ground. They're using it as an argument to convey weight to their position and their opinion, to try and give themselves greater legitimacy and to persuade the social war that's going on at the moment, the cultural conflict. Now, honestly, they copped a lot for this. It's obvious sexism, and I mean, I don't know how many men actually read the Huffington Post. I only discovered it about blokes tearing into it online. I didn't know it existed. I didn't actually think it was a legitimate newspaper. For the first few times I heard about it, I thought it was like The Onion. I thought it was just a joke for some of all this wage gap rubbish they were talking about. I literally thought it was a parody paper. Maybe it is. So now what's happened? Chloe Angel, an American Australian. Now, I don't know what that is. I don't know what an American Australian is. So maybe it's an Australian that's moved over to America, or maybe it's an American that's come over to Australia. I've got no idea. Now, she's got a PhD in rom-coms, and she made this post. Month 2 of HuffPost's opinion is almost done. This month we published 63% women, including trans women, and 53% writers of color. Our goals for this month were less than 50% white authors, check. Asian representation that matches or exceeds the US population, check. More trans and non-binary authors, check. But I want to do better. So how does that look on the US Census data? You've got 72% of people in 2010 identified as white, 12.5% as black, 5% Asian, Native American, 1%. Hawaiian, 0.2%. So are they doing this entire spread? There's also 16.3% that are Hispanic and Latino. So come on, you've got to do more work. You've only got like 2 or 3 identity groups here that you're looking at, Chloe. You need to put more effort in. Break them up smaller and smaller. What about disabled? But we'll come to that. We also wanted to raise the Latinx representation to match or exceed the US population. We didn't achieve that goal, but we're moving firmly in the right direction. Making the improvements. I wonder if you'd consider that an improvement. We made took work, but no doubt about it, we all tapped our networks and made moves to expand our collective Rolodex. She checks the numbers every week because it's too easy to lose track or imagine you're doing better than you really are. The numbers don't lie. No, Chloe, they don't lie. Your organization is racist. You're making race-based decisions to pick people who can submit an opinion to your page, to your online articles. I'd argue that race shouldn't really be relevant unless it's a specific race issue. But now with our cultures becoming more and more merged, it's becoming less relevant, or at least it should become less relevant. Sensible people really are colorblind. They don't care. Numbers don't tell the whole story about disability, geography, socioeconomics, and more. Now, I have a disabled friend who recently presented to Parliament about his struggles he had to get employment being disabled, and how all of the disabled employment agencies really didn't want to help him out. They didn't like that very much. I'll give a shout out to him in another video. The work is not onerous. It's definitely not impossible. If we can do it, every other opinion page can do it. And if you want to opt to pitch, here's how you can do it. We pay, we edit, we care, and we are anti-Oxford comma. Now, I didn't know what that was. Contrary to people who are putting in the comments here, I'm not, as the Brits would call, a public school boy. You know, I went to the state school, so I don't know what an Oxford comma is, and I had to look it up. So what is an Oxford comma? I went to Grammarly. I love Grammarly. Okay, this isn't a paid bloody sponsor. Maybe it'd be awesome if I could, but it isn't. I've used it and I found it's fantastic. So I went to their website. So an Oxford comma or serial comma is the final comma in a list of things. For example, please bring me a pencil, eraser, and notebook. So it's this guy here, the one right here between the and. Now I was taught we didn't do that. You didn't need to add one there, but Grammarly's kept doing it in. So I've picked that up. This is what I'm used to. Please bring me a pencil, eraser, and notebook. Now I like this because it's a element that will force you to subconsciously pause between the and. Now, you see this bloke here? I have little trust in people who don't use the Oxford comma. Now, I would put money, I'd put $100 on the table that the girls here at HuffPost don't like the Oxford comma because it's got the word Oxford in it, and they believe that's associated with the patriarchy and male power and dominance, not the fact that it makes it easier for people to understand a sentence. But, you know, this is how they are trying to fight their perceived fantasy of a patriarchy. They're role-playing that they're the heroes and they're the good guys, when they're actually the racists and the grammar Nazis. So what are some of the responses to this? And I had a look on Twitter and got some of the better ones. So here, Chris Paul says, nothing like being upfront about your race quotas. Very forward thinking. Yeah, that's it really is. Got nearly 2,000 likes there. I quite like that tweet. Here, Easy Mash wrote, it's scary when evil people think they are the good guys. You are the divider here. Yeah, that's true. It is very scary when they think they're the good guys, when they think they have the moral high ground. And that's why all of the normal people need to speak up and let them know that their education has failed them, that what they believe to be the moral position isn't. It's immoral. It's going to cause more pain. It's going to cause more division. And it is regressive. They really are regressive. Here, Johnny reckons that's the best comment yet. So, Lucy, she's a Latina and she would hate to know that the reason for being picked was to fill a quota and not merit-based. Now, I'm going to do another Heiser Says episode where picking people on merit or saying people should get a job based on merit is now being argued as racist. And some universities are including that in their microaggression handout guides to control and compel people's speech. So no, it's... sorry, Lucy. They'd want you to tick a box. You'd probably tell them to go to hell then. Now, the best quote from Jordan Peterson is, go to hell away now. Go the hell away now. Just blunt, simple, and very popular. Lots of likes here. Oh, wait. He's almost catching up. A lot of retweets. So, this is disturbing what they're doing, but so long as they're being upfront about it, it's fine. I never really considered the HuffPost to be a legitimate, unbiased source of news. I always considered everything they produce to have a bias in it, a blatant bias in it. I wouldn't consider them journalists. It's all opinion. Even their news articles are opinion because they've got so much bias in their hiring process. The fact that they're making race-based selections on opinions, gender-based selections on editor, it shows that you can't trust them for news. You just need to dissect it a little bit and, see what it is. But thank you very much for joining me for this episode of Heiser Says, and I hope to see you again next time. Now, if you'd like to watch more of what we've seen, please click up here. Or if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, because I really appreciate the support, please click up here. Thank you very much. Bye.